Hello, I'm Ms. Mercer, Decatur Township District Reading Specialist, and I am here to teach your students Sunday Level 15, Day 3 or Part 3 lesson for today. The goal for the next section is to have your child read each sound aloud. Having your child do this rapidly is the goal. Ask for the two sounds of all the vowels, short and the long. Lots of times this is the prompt we use, short, long. If the students make an error, you'll say, let's trace. You'll say this is the letter S, which says S as in sock, and you would show the keyword slide. Okay, I'm going to go rapidly through this section. The student will just say the sound when they hear it. If they make an error, that's what the keyword slide is for behind it. You don't need to say that, but if you want to, go right ahead. It's one of the blends that we've been working on. Remember to prompt for the short and the long sound. Again, prompt for the short and the long sound. Remember, feel free to pause it if they need more time on a sound or you need more time. Okay, now we're to the spell sound section of the lesson. I will say a letter and the student will write I will say a sound and the student will write what letter makes that sound in the following section of this paper. The learner will repeat the sound after me, then they're going to say it and write it at the same time. If they make an error, you would say, and you might prompt, and if you can write, you would do that. I wanted D. What letter makes the D sound? And hopefully they will give you the correct answer. So they'll prompt their own error correction, and then you'll say, yes, D makes the D sound. So cross it out, and then write D 2 more times for extra practice. I don't know if that shows up right. Okay. First sound, ah. Repeat the sound, and then say it and write it at the same time. Ks, ks. Uh. Shh. W. Remember, you can pause the video at any time to give your student more time to write these. Okay, now we're to the reading section of the lesson. Make sure that the student places their fingers underneath the word and traces from left to right with their finger. If they make an error, make sure that they see the word and then they trace each letter while saying each sound. So they would look at the word and then, for instance, rat, rat. You'd want them to trace it 3 times while looking at the correct way. Rat, rat, rat. Okay? Okay, so just pick one column for today. Oftentimes we need a lot of repetition with these lessons, and this is an opportunity where you can repeat the lesson if they need extra practice and then have them do a different row. So today, have them do this row, and if you want to give them some extra practice and repeat, have them do this row tomorrow. So pause the video to give your child time to say these words, read these words for you. Okay, now I'm going to repeat what touch spelling looks like. Again, if you are touch spelling, you would use the writing instrument in your right hand if you're a righty, and then you would touch spell with your left hand, rat. If you are left-handed, you would start with your thumb because we're going to follow the left to right sequence of words in our language, and you would do rat. And if you run out of fingers, you go back to your other thumb and just start all over again. So a quick review of how we do touch spelling. Okay, and so this is the spell words section. Okay, and I am going to give you the words. I think I made a mistake right here, but let me figure it out real quick. First word, sack. Repeat the word, touch spell the word, and write the word. Okay. Next word, quit. Quit. Next word, loss. Next word, beef. Next word is a sight word, a. Next word, may. Luck. Wish. Another sight word, from. Remember to pause after each word if you need the time. And you should be touch spelling with each word. Buck. Queen. Huff. Seep. Another sight word, do. Pay. Rock. Sheet. And another sight word, of. Go through and check your words. Give yourself time to make sure you have them written correctly. And now we're going to check them together. If you made a mistake, cross it out. Don't erase it. It's good to use a pen so we can look at your errors and see if there are any patterns. Cross it out and write it 3 times correctly. The correct words will be on the following slides. Sack. Quit. If you made a mistake, cross it out, pause the video, and write it 3 times correctly while looking at it written correctly on the screen. Loss. Beef. A. May. Luck. Wish. From. Buck. Queen. Huff. Seep. Do. Pay. Rock. Sheet. Of. Okay, now we're to the spell words and phrases section. Okay, the student will write these down here. But real quick, before we get that started, I want you to read the words to someone that you just spelled up here and have written correctly. So read those back to somebody. Right now, pause the video and do that. Now we're to the spell words section. And this is where you're going to write those sentences. Okay. I'm going to say a sentence and the learner is going to repeat the sentence. You're going to tap one word per finger. So if you're, same thing, if you're a righty, the rat sat. If you're a lefty, the rat sat. One word per finger, okay? First sentence, I will run to the bell and quit. I will run to the bell and quit. I want you to repeat the sentence, then tap the sentence out, and then tap and write the sentence down. Pause the video to give yourself time to do this. Here is the next sentence. I need to pay cash to the man. I need to pay cash to the man. You'll repeat and finger tap, and then repeat and write. Pause the video to give yourself time to write. Okay? When you're finished, think caps. You need to check for capitalization, accuracy, punctuation, and spelling. So look over your sentences and check for those items. Now we're going to check your sentences together. If you made an error, cross it out and write the correct word on top. Do not erase. These sentences are written correctly. I is capitalized at the beginning of the sentence, and it is by itself, so it is capitalized. There's a period at the end. I will run to the bell and quit. I need to pay cash to the man. If you made an error, cross it out and write it correctly above that. Okay, now we're to the new material section of the lesson. We are talking about the blend SC, which makes the sk sound. Can you say sk, 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 as in scat? Okay. Now I want you to write that 3 times, sk, scat. So trace it with your fingers 3 times, sk, 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 and now write it 3 times while saying the sound in the new material section on these 3 small lines. Okay. Now we're going to learn the blend SW, which says swa, swa. Can you say swa, swa? I added a schwal on that kind of, so you got to be careful. So trace with your fingers. Swa, swa, swa. Okay. Swa, as in sweet. Can you say swa, sweet? Swa, sweet. Feel how your mouth is when you say that. Now I want you to write it 3 times right over here on this edge while saying the sound. Swa, swa, swa. Okay. Now we're going to practice reading some words with those blends that we just learned. So put your finger underneath each word, sound it out, and then say it as a whole word. Go through and pause and give yourself time to read these words out loud. Okay. Now we're going to practice spelling some words that have these blends in them. So listen carefully. I'm going to say the word. You're going to repeat the word. You're going to touch spell the word, saying each sound out loud while writing it on paper. Remember, you're only going to use one finger for swa, swa. Okay? All right. So first word, scan. Repeat the word, touch spell, and write. Scam. Scat. Scum. Remember, you can pause if you need more time. Scab. And these words should be written right here. Might run out of room. Sweet. Swim. Sway. Swam. And swish. Give yourself time to spell all of these words. When you're finished, read back these words to someone. Okay? And now for the final read aloud section. Put this up here. Okay? So take the time to read this paragraph out loud to someone at home. Pause the video. And that is the end of Lesson 15, Day 3. Thank you and have a great day.